ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये So let us chant the first and the last verse of Gita Dhyanam again today. If one of you can repeat after me. So, Mohini ji, you're able to hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear.
Okay. Can you repeat after me?
Sure.
Okay. Everybody else, please make sure you're muted. Shailaja, Rama, please mute yourself. Okay. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam.
Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam.
Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam.
Narayanena Swayam.
Vyasena Grathitam.
Vyasena Grathitam.
Puranamunina.
Puranamunina.
Madhye Mahabharatam.
Madhye Mahabharatam.
Advaitamritavarshinim.
Advaitamritavarshinim.
Bhagavatim.
Bhagavatim.
Ashtadashadhyayinim.
Ashtadashadhyayinim.
Ambatvam.
Ambatvam.
Anusandadhami.
Anusandadhami.
Bhagavad Gite.
Bhagavad Gite.
Bhavadveshinim.
Bhavadveshinim.
Yam Brahma.
Yam Brahma.
Varunendra Rudra Marutaha.
Varunendra Rudra Marutaha.
Stunvanti.
Stunvante.
Divyaistavaihi.
Divyaistavaihi.
Vedaihi.
Vedaihi.
Sangapadakrama.
Sangapadakrama.
Upanishadaihi.
Upanishadaihi.
Gayanti yam samagaha.
Gayantiyam samaga.
Dhyanavasthita.
Dhyanavastitha.
Tadgatena manasa.
Tadgatena manasa.
Pashyanti yam yoginaha.
Pashyantiyam yoginaha.
Yasyantam na viduhu.
Yasyantam viduhu.
Yasyantam na viduhu.
Yasyantam na viduhu.
Sura suraganaha.
Sura suraganaha.
Devaya tasmai namaha.
Devaya tasmai namaha.
Devaya tasmai namaha.
Devaya tasmai namaha.
So if a couple of one more Aim, if you could unmute yourself also.
Yeah.
Everybody else stay muted. Just so I can get feedback. Mohani, stay unmuted.
Okay.
So Yasyantam na viduhu. So not Yasyantam viduhu. This verse is about that Brahma. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunvanti. That which even Brahma and other Devatas worship. Look at that. And that Yasya Antam na Viduhu. Viduhu means no. Yasya Antam, whose end, whose beginning, whose end. They know. If you don't, they know. But na Viduhu, they don't know. They don't know the beginning and the end. So that's what is being said here. So, okay, assuming everybody can hear me. So, we talked about 4 Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. We defined Moksha. We began to see that Artha, Kama and Dharma also, as much as I seek them every minute of the day, no amount of seeking seems to make me secure. As secure as I want forever, every minute of the day I want to be secure and pleased. That doesn't seem to happen. So then I am beginning to recognize that no object in this world, no place in the world has the property of security. So that like I go to the rose flower, when I keep the rose flower near me, it gives me the odor. The odor is of the rose because that odor is emanating from the rose. Like that, this ananda, this pleasure and security does not or is not a property of anything, any place or anything, so that I can go near it and I can become secure. Such a thing doesn't exist. This analysis opens the possibility now, and I am now eager to know that now what the Shastra is saying is perhaps your nature is already security. Security is my nature. Purnatvam, fullness is my nature. That seems to be the only possibility. Otherwise, I may travel. Otherwise, I think I am going to be happy in heaven. And I am in search of heaven. I do all the right things, good things. I help people also. I do a lot of social service. And why? Because Shastram says you get punya by doing this. And then with that punya, I can go to heaven. So while that is a good thing, no doubt, that Shastra praises it, going to heaven is within time and everything, punya and papa is all finite. Finite means the punyam I get is commensurate with the actions I did. Commensurate means what? Proportional. Maybe I should use the word proportional. And therefore, finite actions lead to finite results. And so, nothing ever, even if it is heaven, it is also a place in space. So within space and time, I can talk about heaven. Within space and time, I can go to heaven, I can come out of heaven, and I will come out of heaven. Shastram says, Kshine punye martya lokam vishanti. Means when that punya gets exhausted, martya lokam vishanti, one enters the world of mortals. Martya lokam vishanti. Having recognized this, or now it keeps me open to the possibility that perhaps now I don't know my real nature, and therefore I am open to listening to what the Shastra says. And because I now recognize ignorance as a potential problem, when I don't know something, it means I am ignorant of that something. Ajnanam. So ajnana nivritti becomes important in my life. Not what is the next technique I must follow, what must I do. This doing is replaced by understanding. Because I've been doing all these past janmas. They say janmas also, I've lived so many infinite janmas. That also the Shastram is saying. And now this is the next janma I've got. And therefore, having done all that, if I have not accomplished what I want, then perhaps knowing is what I must focus my attention on. Because the only thing that can be opposed to ignorance is knowledge. Action is not opposed to ignorance. You may make a note of that. It's a big topic. We will keep covering it again and again. Action is not opposed to ignorance. Only knowledge can neutralize ignorance, just like only light can neutralize darkness. Nothing else can neutralize darkness. Nobel Prize winner is coming. He's knocking the door. Let's go open the door. The room has to be bright in the night. If the room is not bright, the Nobel Prize winner cannot brighten the room, despite all his qualifications. Light can remove darkness. Okay. So after that, because knowing becomes now important, we need to ask about the means by which we gain knowledge. Jnanam. So we talked about perception and inference. And then in satsang, somebody asked a question, how about arthApatti, etc. So there, I didn't quote all the 5 means of knowledge. So there is something called arthApatti, which is like inference, but multi-step inference. So Devadatta was quoted that day, and the person who asked the question seems to know that. It's a popular example that we quote here. So I thought I will explain what that questioner meant by the word Devadatta. So there was this man Devadatta and his roommate Yajnadatta. And they're all doing something, and they come back in the night, and then but they're always together. And Devadatta is a crazy guy. He doesn't eat at all. And so he doesn't eat at all. Yajnadatta has seen him and has convinced him he should eat something. And days go by, and then Yajnadatta finds that Devadatta is putting on weight. So 1 kilo, 2 kilos, 3 kilos, like that, is putting on weight. So Yajnadatta is wondering, what happened? This guy doesn't even eat. He's feasting he's famine all day. Nothing. He doesn't touch food at all. How come he puts on weight? So multi-step inference. Devadatta doesn't eat during the day. Devadatta puts on weight. 2 data points are there. So now Yajnadatta has to make a conclusion. Oh, Devadatta is nocturnal. Devadatta is nocturnal. You know, an English word, beautiful word, nocturnal, means species that are awake in the night. So like bats and other animals who, I suppose, they don't sleep in the night. So this guy is quietly getting up and having something, peanut, this, that, and goes on eating, I think. Probably doesn't cook, because otherwise the cooking will wake up Devadatta. So that's called arthApatti, multi-step inference. In science, it's a common, very common. Multi-step. That is called arthApatti. And then there is something called anupalabdhi. Another means of knowledge, another pramanam. Anupalabdhi. So suppose I say, look at my hand. So I say, look at my hand. I am not holding an apple in my hand. Suppose I say, I am not holding an apple in my hand. Then you will say, yeah, of course I know that. You're not holding an apple in the hand. In fact, you're not holding anything in your hand. Okay. So then perception is not there. You don't perceive an apple. Then how do you know apple is not there in the hand? No, I don't perceive an apple. That's why I say you're not holding an apple. Okay, so the absence, the recognition of absence is sometimes characterized as a different pramanam called anupalabdhi, recognition of absence. It's like perception, absence of perception. Then we talked about upama the other day. Upama means illustration. Some example, we talked about it last time, example of a reindeer. Somebody who doesn't know what a reindeer is, you give him some examples and help him or her see what a reindeer is. It's called upama. Okay, so means of knowledge available to us. Then we said, can the Shastram, can the Mahavakyam, namely, can the message, the truth taught by the Shastram be known through any of this means of knowledge? Then we said, no, not possible, because that self that the Shastram is talking about is not available for any of this means of knowledge. The self cannot be perceived, cannot be inferred. And therefore, and at the same time, ignorance is the problem, knowledge is the only solution. How am I going to get this? This is the question. Then we started saying that the Veda is a means of knowledge. The Veda is a pramanam. So now look how quietly and slowly we are bringing these ideas. The Veda is like a mirror, which the mirror enabled me to see my own eyes. So something fell in my eyes and I have to see the mirror in order to take care of my eyes. And without a mirror, it's impossible. That Vedas, we call it as a mirror of words revealing my nature. So big topic, Vedas versus science. Science is getting there, Jaykumarji. Science is getting there. Yeah, science is getting there. But science is all about observing, making observations, collecting data, and then making inferences, developing the laws that define this physical world. How are you going to observe Atma? What kind of data can you collect about Atma? This question will arise. So, Hem, can you pause the recording for a second? So what means of knowledge is available to perceive the Atma? A scientist has to collect data before making conclusions. Data not available. In fact, the only data available about myself is what? I am an engineer, I am a doctor, I am unemployed. These days you go to LinkedIn, they will say self-employed, or they have some creative ways of saying. Creative ways of saying I am employed. So I also thought of, no, I am unemployed. So I thought, what should I put in my profile? So I said nation builder. Hey, might as well go for the big thing. Why not? Why start with small things? I said, come on, look at the big picture. The nation builder. I have the job of building the nation. Arey wah, kya baat hai. So, I am this, I am that. On top of that, I make conclusions. I wish my memory could improve. I wish I could do better. People are not respecting me. I feel inadequate. I feel afraid of things. I am asked to speak. I have stage fear. And like this, lot of things are there about myself. And of course, the mother of all fears is also there. I am a mortal. I am afraid of death. This is my idea about myself. Or positive things. I am accomplished. And I'm very happy about what I have accomplished. Also those things. Positive things also. We should include everything. But the positive things don't cause a problem for me. I don't get up in the morning and complain that my children are doing well in school. Nobody complains. It's not a matter of complaint. So, my idea about myself is like that. And it's very opposed to what the Shastram says. Therefore, the Shastram has to be brought in. The Vedas has to be brought in. Therefore, when somebody says Vedas are scientific, then we will say, or I will say, the person doesn't know what science is, the person doesn't know what Vedas is. Only such a person can say Vedas are scientific. Think about it. No, Jaykumarji, are you saying Vedas are unscientific? Big topic. We're not going to cover that today. Vedas are not unscientific. And Vedas are not scientific also because science has no access to what Vedas says. Punyam, Papam, all these things, science has no access. Good. Even Atma Vidya, the nature of Atma also, science has no access because the science looks for things through the microscope, looking at objects other than me. But Shastram talks about the one who is looking, the perceiver. So science has no access to the perceiver. Okay, good. Separate topic. So Vedas is a pramana. Veda pramanam. That we learn. So then we expose ourselves to the Vedas because it's a bunch of words. And the words are supposed to reveal my true nature. And therefore, Shravanam, listening, is the means to know myself. Listening, Shravana. This Veda is also called, there is a name for this Pramanam. It is called shabdapramANam. In Sanskrit, Shabda means word. Hindi also, Shabd, word. Tamil also, Shabdam. All these, the word Shabd, the Shabd is an often used Shabd in all our languages. So, Shabda Pramanam means a Pramanam where spoken words are used to reveal something. Shabda Pramanam. So, very beautiful word, Shabda Pramanam. Means very sacred. Shabda Pramanam means Shastra. There is no other Shabda Pramanam. And so now I am in a position where there is a fact to be known and I know nothing about it and I want to know, and therefore I have what is called Shraddha. This is where the word Shraddha comes. Shraddha. Shraddha means what? We talked about it last time. Belief pending verification. Belief pending verification. Pending verification. Therefore, because a fact is being unfolded, this process is called teaching, not preaching. Please understand this very clearly. Many people say, oh, yes, so you're preaching Bhagavad Gita. I am allergic to this word preaching. I am seeing a lot of preachers on the street carrying Bible and all these things. And this word preaching, I have given up from my vocabulary completely. So we have no business preaching here. We are talking about a tattvam. Tattvam means truth. Tasya bhavaha tattvam. Truth. And so teaching becomes very important. When something has to be understood, teaching comes. Teaching implies Q&A, question and answers. Teaching implies doubts. Doubts have to be clarified. All this happens only in teaching. A preacher is not obligated to reason out everything. God is in heaven. You just have to believe it. You will go to heaven after you die. You just have to believe it. We ask, how do you know? How can I prove to me that I will go to heaven? Preacher cannot answer this question, not obligated to answer also. At best, he will say the devil has possessed you. But that's why you're asking all these questions. So anyway, important. These are all important points. So Veda is a shabdapramANam. And I have Shraddha in what the Veda says. And there is a definition for Veda. Veda is that which cannot, or Veda, the content of the Veda is that which cannot be obtained by the means of knowledge available to me, like pratyaksham and pramanam. Rig Veda has this definition in it. Rig Veda Bhashyam. That is the definition of this Veda itself. Therefore, Veda has no pressure to talk about things like things that you can prove here and get here by using my own mind. It may talk about, the astronomy, it may talk about some sciences, water, the science of rain and things like that, how rain happens. But that is not the main purpose of the Veda, because that is something you and I can figure out. Atmospheric science, you and I can figure out using our pramana. So Veda has no business, has no interest in that area. So, and also what the Veda says, many of it cannot be proved, cannot be disproved also. Just make a note of these things. Like punyam, papam, namely adrishtam, swargam, punarjanma, afterlife. Punarjanmam is an excellent way to explain a lot of things. Why my child? Why my child got leukemia when she was 6 months old and she passed away? No answer. Why should my child get this disease? No answer. Only this karma helps us answer all these questions. And that is why Indians are sane people, because karma makes us sane, because we are readily able to accept the most difficult things. So karma is very important. Can't disprove it. Can't disprove it. So we see life as a continuum. Continuum. We don't see life as just I was born on so-and-so date and I will live for some years and I will pass it. And only memory is of my memory is I have some place where they bury me or they burn me, and That's it. Gone. One life. No. That is an Abrahamic view. Our idea is life is a continuum. This is just one amsha, one segment in that entire continuum. Therefore, karma becomes meaningful. Therefore, my journey also becomes meaningful. There is no pressure to say, this is the only life, and so I must do something. But we do say, human life is the only life where there is free will, where there is buddhi you can use. Therefore, please use it to study the Shastram. That is there. That is there. So anyway, many of these cannot be proved. And all the rituals the Vedas talks about, all the daily rituals, all the big rituals people have done. I heard somebody did the Vajpaya Yajna. So Atal Bihari Vajpayee means he comes from a family who are proficient in doing Vajpaya Yajna. Big Yajna. Putra Kameshti, some people did. Some last year also I heard. So Putra Kameshti Yaga. Because children, I can't have children. And so then with Shraddha, you do this yaga and then you will get the children. And all these things are, we with Shraddha, we approach the Veda and everything makes a lot of sense after it. So this Veda, we are now talking about Veda as a means of knowledge. And what is this Veda? If you say, what does it really have? I've never seen a book. Bhagavad Gita, okay, I've seen a book. I know what it contains. It has so many verses, 18 chapters. But Vedas I've not seen. Yeah, Vedas you have not seen because we have not learnt. And our schools didn't teach anything. And even those days, 20, 30 years ago, you don't even mention the word Vedas. So our education has been de-shastrized completely. And so that's why we don't know anything much about the Veda. Neither do the temples. Go to the temples, they at least if they keep some books nearby, we can see it's not there. But Vedas is a voluminous body of knowledge. And a majority of it comes under the category of this dharma, artha and kama. Because majority of the people want dharma, artha and kama. The Vedas says, okay, go for it. You want money, go for it. You want children, go for it. Here are some more ways of having a good family. You want yashas. Yashas means fame. Fame. I am not interested in money also. I want fame. Look at that. I don't want money, but I want fame. Okay, no problem. Yashas also you can get. Here are some techniques we will give you. With Shraddha, you do all these homas and yagas, you will have fame. And many kings give up their wealth in their life so that they can be a bigger Maha Rajadi Adhipati next Janma. If not this Janma, I am willing to wait for the next Janma. So this Vivaswan, father of Nachiketas in Kathopanishad, they say this Vivaswan was doing the yaga, Vishwajit yaga. Look at that, Vishwajit, the one who won over the entire world. And for that, he gives up everything he has. He literally goes on the streets. So this king is willing to go to the streets so that he can be bigger person next time. Can you believe this? This culture is just too amazing. The more and more I study and talk about it, the more amazed I get. How? Giving up things, tyaga, my goodness. That only this culture can provide. Okay, so all that body of knowledge which caters to my adharma, artha and kama is called karma kandaha. Make a note of this. Karma kandaha. Vedas has two parts. One is karma kanda, which caters to dharma and kama. And the second Jnanakanda, the section of knowledge. The portion, the section, small section of knowledge, which is also called as Upanishad. Upanishad. So Upanishad is the portion that we are studying, which gives rise to the Bhagavad Gita, and that is called Jnanakanda, and everything else is called Karma Kanda in the Vedas. Now, so the Vedas, every statement in the Veda is called a Veda mantra. The word mantra is applied only to the statements contained in the Veda. So when we say Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram, that is not that is a shloka. Or sometimes if it is big, we will say it is a stotram, but we won't say it is a mantra. Whereas when we say Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu, it is a mantra because it is extracted from the Veda. And who created all these mantras? Who wrote all these mantras? So our idea is that every book, every piece of literature, every grantha is authored by somebody. So who authored the Vedas? So then what we say is, Rishis have, every mantra, every section in the Veda is attributed to a Maharshi, like Vishwamitra, like Vajapeya, like Atri, like Bhrigu, etc. Like this Vashishta. And Vyasa collected all these things because in Vyasa's time it was all there. Collected all these things and said, it's time for me to organize it in such a way that now it is so voluminous, such a way the people can follow at least a portion of it. And so he divided this whole voluminous text into 4 Vedas. This 4 comes from Veda Vyasa. Before Veda Vyasa, Veda was there, but not in the form of 4 Vedas. And then each family was given, you study the Samaveda, you teach the Samaveda, etc. Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharvana, Veda. And you ask these rishis, how did you get all this? You know what they say? They didn't say they are authors of the Vedas, of the mantras. They say they are, the mantras were revealed to us. The mantras just came to us. What? They say, I am not a mantra karta. Karta means creator, doer. I am not a mantra karta. I am a mantra drashta. Mantra drashta means I saw the mantras. Like you stand in front of the television, don't think the television is creating the program for you. It knows what you want and then it's preparing this program for you. No, television doesn't do anything. All it does is it receives the signals and then it is displaying that picture on the screen. Like that, our rishis received, the mantras were revealed to them. So they don't even take authorship to these mantras. So very important to know, they are called mantra drashtas or mantra drashtaraha. And therefore the Vedas are also called apaurusheyam. Paurusheyam means purushaihi idam paurusheyam. That which is born of a human being is called paurusheyam. Born of a human being. So I write something, then that is called paurusheyam. A text authored by so-and-so person. But here not authored by anybody. Therefore Vedas are called apaurusheyam, not authored by a human being. So technical words which very commonly used, we will encounter it periodically. Apaurusheya shastram. Vedaha apaurusheyaha. So now then we talk about Vedanta. So this minute portion Jnanakanda is also called Vedanta. Vedanam antaha. Physically located also. Some of the Upanishads are located towards the end. After all the Karma Kanda, then it is coming at the end. Sometimes it's not at the end, it's there in the middle also. So, but generally called Vedanta. Now, question arises. Wait a minute. You're asking me to believe some grand statement, and the statement is so grand. I am a mortal, and you're telling me I am immortal. The Vedas is telling me I am immortal. These are two opposite things. These are two opposite things, not even slightly different or somewhat divergent. These are just completely divergent like day and night. It's not believable. How can I believe this? Now, Veda is a pramana. Remember pramanam. Pramanam means of knowledge. When I operate a pramanam, the pramanam will reveal what it is capable of revealing. The eyes are capable of revealing what it can reveal. What can the eyes do? You can't close your ears and then listen to music with your eyes. Not possible. Because eyes are capable of revealing only forms and colors. Forms and colors. I don't think I can think of a third one. Forms, colors. And it does that. Prove to me that the Vedas can give me this knowledge. Only if you prove to me, Jayakamarji, I will study Bhagavad Gita. Suppose you say that. Because, it's a big text and you're teaching so slowly and it's going to take a long time. And, I'm a busy man. I'm traveling a lot. And so you better, I want to study, I can understand what you're saying, but you need to prove to me. First prove to me, then I will study. So, how do I prove that the ears can hear? Ear is also pramana. Hearing is also pramana, remember? How can we prove that the eyes can see? So, there was this blind man. Swamiji gives this example. Blind man, blind from birth. And he is now 50 years old. And never saw anything in his life. And then suddenly comes a new medical advancement. They say there is a particular kind of blindness that can be cured. And the doctors tested and said, yeah, you have that particular kind of blindness and we can operate on you. You can be operated upon and you will be able to see. The fellow is in India, but they said, you know what? The only problem is you have to go to New York to get this done. Right now, only available in New York. So the guy says, no, I can go to New York. And he goes to New York. And all surgery and all done. And finally, the eyes are all, bandage is there. And the day has come when the bandage has to be opened. So he's lying on the bed. The doctor comes. Hello, Mr. Vishwanathan. And so the surgery is over. You waited 7 days after the surgery. Now all the healing must have happened. Now it's time to open the eyes. So he removes the bandage. Please open your eyes. You know what Vishwanathan says? He says, no doctor, I will not open my eyes. You prove to me that I can see. Prove to me. If I open my eyes, if I don't see, I will die of shock. Don't you know? 50 years I am not seen. Now I've spent money and come to New York. And I can't withstand that shock. I'd rather keep my eyes closed. Prove to me. You prove to me that I will see. Now tell me what the doctor can do. No, big doctor must be, if this is the only hospital where the surgery is being done, that person has already cured many people. So, very reputed, unique man, blessed. What he can do? What can he do to prove to this man? If you, because A, B, C, D, this will happen, therefore you will be able to see. Can he say that? If this were to happen in India, this doctor won't have time for all this. And, he's going on rounds. Whenever you call, why is the doctor late? They will say, he's going on rounds. So round and round. I think they must make some arrangement in the hospitals so the doctors can make these rounds quickly. So 10 o'clock rounds, 11 o'clock rounds, 12 o'clock rounds. So this doctor doesn't have time. And for all this conversation and my history and I will die and this, all this doesn't have time. He will say, come on nurses, how either hold the two hands and pakado isko. And then they will do this. But in America, they can't do this because Vishwanathan has the right to sue the doctor. You know, in the country, the doctors are careful. They won't say all that. They are very careful. So what will this doctor say? Mr. Vishwanathan, we have done everything possible. Even though this is a new surgery, we have done, thousands of patients have been successfully gone out of this hospital with their sight back. So we've done the same procedure in you. It is my belief that you will be able to see. If I were you, I would open your eyes or my eyes. If I were you, I would open my eyes. If I were you, very something I learned in the US. If I were you, I would open my eyes. That's all he can say. Can't say anything more. Just we have to be patient and wait. So here is the situation. Look at that. No expert can prove that the eyes can see. That the eyes can see has to be found out, proved only by the perceiver by operating the eyes. There is no other option. I have to operate the pramana in order to prove that the pramana works. There is no other way. The pramanam is self-proving, swatasiddha. Swatasiddha means self-proving. There is nothing else. Nobody in the world can prove that a pramana will do certain thing. Nothing. That is the beauty of what is called pramana. Self-proving. And so no proof exists other than I have to employ the means of knowledge. So if somebody says, prove to me that the Vedas will give me this knowledge, there is no proof available. The only proof is, like this Vishwanathan can interview all these people. Hey, you also came here, you got the surgery done. How was it? Was it painful? All this he can ask. You're able to see now? Yes, I can see now. Because Vishwanathan can't see, remember. You're able to see now? Yes. All that data point he can collect. So the only evidence Vishwanathan has is a lot of patients are there, and there is the hospital has prepared a book of people's signatures and their testimony is all there in this book. That is the only data he has. Still no proof. So I have to operate the pramanam called the Vedas in order for me to see what it says. Pramanam. So what we are learning a lot about what is called pramanam. Very important. ShabdapramANam. So the pramanam is self-proving. It will validate itself. If it doesn't work, you can say, no, it doesn't work also. That also you can say. But you have to operate it. No choice but to operate it. So it's important to operate it, because now the Shastram doesn't say you will become immortal. It says you are immortal. Look at the two different statements. Tat tvam asi. In Sanskrit, asi means are. You are. That is the meaning of asi. Tat tvam asi. You are that. It doesn't say you will become that. So becoming, remember, becoming is a finite process. And becoming is fraught with uncertainty. But revealing the nature of something will either happen or it may not happen. These are the only two possibilities. And it's not a becoming process, it's a recognition of being. So from becoming, we are talking about being. So just some there are very important nuances here when we study Vedanta that we have to know. So this is Vedas as a means of knowledge. So when I look at the Vedas now, I look at it as a pramanam. I don't look at it as something. It teaches me something and then I have to follow it and then I must do this, do that, etc. Yes, karma kanda is all to be followed. I must do. Karma means to action, must be done. So the big volume of Vedas is to be followed, to be done, after understanding what it is. But there also one has to operate it, one has to do it to see the results. So there also we have that you have to operate the pramanam in order to, and then prove it for yourself, see it for yourself. This is called Veda shabdapramANam. So there is another word now. One who accepts this Veda as a pramana is called an Astika. Vaidika. Sometimes we use the word vaidika. Vaidika means one who believes in the Vedas. More specifically, one who believes in the Vedas as a pramanam is called an Astika. Astika. Asti iti bhava. So the Veda talks about something and that something exists, Ishvara, and I am not different from Ishvara. That astitva bhava. Asti means in Sanskrit is true. That is the meaning of asti. So therefore Astika. So then there are some people who believe in the Vedas, but they don't believe in Ishvara. They're called Samkhyas. So Ishvara nasti. Vedaha asti. Veda pramanam. Yes, I believe in it. And I will do rituals. I will be dharmic. I will lead a dharmic life. And I will do what the Vedas tells me to do. Getting up in the morning, doing ABCD, and serving the people, doing all these rituals. All that I will do. Teaching, that also I will do. But Ishvaraha nasti. That person also is an Astika because he or she believes that the Veda is a pramanam. Pramanam, it's a means of knowledge for whatever the person believes it is going to give him. So in our view, I am saying this Sāmkhya is an Astika, but a Bauddha means those who draw their lineage from the Buddha also use the Vedas, but they don't consider the Veda as a pramana. They don't consider the Veda as a pramana, and they have a different set of way of looking at it, but they are religious. Ishvaraha asti. Jaina, Mahavira, Jains also. Veda they don't consider as pramanam. So they, Buddhas and Jainas, we don't consider them as astikas. Astika means by this definition. All are part of this Hindu framework, remember. We're not trying to split people here. We're trying to know, we're trying to understand. Everybody derives their strength from the Vedas. So that is very clear. Only the Vedas allows us to think like this, allows us to debate, allows us to ask questions. The Veda doesn't say, you will go to hell if you don't believe me. No, it doesn't say all that. So, beautiful, beautiful. So, Astika and nAstika. And this nAstika can believe in Punarjanma, can believe in Papa, Punya. They all have it. Buddhas believe in Punarjanma. Then they also say after 7 lives you will get nirvana. They have a word called nirvana. After 7 lives. All this they say. So they believe in all these things. Okay. So now, when I am available, when I have little bit of clarity, and the Vedas are available, Vedanta is available, now I must allow the Vedanta to do its job. I must allow the means of knowledge to operate. Correct? Because I think I am the problem and the Shastram says I am the solution. If I am the solution and I am the problem, and I have nothing to deny that, I have nothing to refute that, then I go along with the Vedas, go along with the Shastra. And I let the words, the Shabda, words do its job. Shabda means word and then its meaning. And I begin to understand and I allow it to do its job. So knowledge here, there is, we can roughly say 2 kinds of knowledge. Indirect knowledge and direct knowledge. Indirect knowledge. So I come and tell you that I went to, Kashmir these days is a lot safer place thanks to our own Prime Minister. And they say tourism is increasing. More and more people are going to Kashmir. And I tell you, I went to Kashmir. I wanted to see Vaishno Devi temple. And so I got a darshan of Vaishno Devi. And the travel was very good. The weather was good. And I even saw snow. You never get to see snow in this Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu temperature is 35 degrees and above 40 degrees, 45 degrees. So there's no chance of seeing snow here. And I tell you everything about Kashmir because you have not been to Kashmir. And I tell you, I describe everything to you. And the temple is situated on a hill. And there is some help for those who can't climb. They can take you there. I tell you all this. Now you have some knowledge of Vaishno Devi temple. It is located in J&K. And there is some surroundings. How to get to Vaishno Devi. All this I tell you. So you have some knowledge. That knowledge, we will call it as indirect knowledge. Indirect knowledge. Means you have never really been to Vaishno Devi. But you have an idea of Vaishno Devi. Enough idea to say, I want to go to Vaishno Devi. Next time for those of you outside the country, when we come to India, let's go to Vaishno Devi. Or those of us who have never been to Kashmir, that's only Kashmir I know, then we can go to Vaishno Devi. And then convert that indirect knowledge to what we call direct knowledge. So Swarga, Vedas talks about Swarga. Big thing for Hindus, Swarga. And because Vedas talks about it, if there is the first scripture that ever talked about heaven, must be the Vedas. Otherwise, where these people don't have I don't see a lot of originality coming from outside. And then that same Swarga is available through other religions. And they have their unique heaven, etc. So, Swarga, indirect knowledge I have, because the Vedas gives a description of Indraloka, etc., Brahmaloka. So I have indirect knowledge, like I have indirect knowledge of Vaishno Devi temple. Then there is something called direct. So the question is, the knowledge I am going to get about Atma, is it going to be indirect knowledge or direct knowledge? Direct knowledge means what? The friend that I've been talking on the phone, or somebody who's been wanting to meet me, finally he comes to my place and then we meet each other. Now he has actually seen me. There is somebody called Jaikumar who lives here and in this particular subdivision, and etc. He knows everything. Until then, hearsay. Some belief is there. Person knows how I look, etc., how I talk, everything he can see for himself. Direct knowledge. Direct knowledge happens when the object is close by. Indirect knowledge is generally of objects that are far away. Generally, I use the word generally, because with technology, things can change. Far away objects also, even a far away planet, we can actually perceive it and get some knowledge. Some direct knowledge of Pluto, some indirect knowledge of Pluto may be there. So this Atma, which I am beginning to learn, understand, appreciate, it's not far away from me. It's something near me. In fact, it is me. And I am trying to understand what this Atma is. And we say this knowledge has to be direct knowledge. It can't be indirect knowledge to be further validated later. So, like the person, good friend of mine came from Europe, and he spent 2-3 weeks here. And so with me, we went around, and I bought some fruits for him. This yellow colored fruit is called jackfruit. And in Tamil, it's called palapadam. And I bought that for him. And then he liked that jackfruit. And I bought more and more of these fruits, small fruits. You can buy, 1 kilo, half a kilo, you can buy. And I gave it to him. And then years passed. And one fine day he came, visited from Europe again. He says, Jaikumar, we haven't met in a long time. Let me come and visit you. He comes. And then we were walking in the street. One day he sees something on the street. Sees something on the street, and it's a big green vegetable or fruit also, we don't know, thing which has a lot of thorns outside that fruit. Big fruit. This big. And then he asked me, what is this? I tell him it is jackfruit. What? It's jackfruit. Jack? Because Jack ate the fruit? No, that I don't know. Why it's called jackfruit, I have no idea. It's jackfruit. So what kind of fruit is it? Remember 10 years ago when you visited me, what fruit did you like? Yeah, that yellow fruit which has a seed inside. Yes, that fruit. That fruit which you said if you eat too much you can get a stomachache. Yes, that fruit. Oh, that fruit which you said you dip it in honey and drink and eat it. That way you may not get stomachache. Some people in India, in Tamil Nadu do that. Is that the fruit you're talking about? Yes, that fruit. Oh, if you don't have any, dip it in jaggery. Jaggery means good. And eat with good. Is that the one you're talking about? Yes, that is the one I'm talking about. Now, Mr. Jack has direct knowledge of jackfruit. Correct? Direct knowledge. Until then, he had some knowledge, no doubt. He did taste jackfruit, etc. But the full knowledge of jackfruit comes now. Direct knowledge. Another example I'll give and then close. It's already 7:40 here. So, this person reads the newspaper every morning. Typical traditional family. I suppose, the newspaper man comes, puts the newspaper, still happens. Even in my home, it happens. And then the person has to read the newspaper. And so he's reading the newspaper. That's the first thing he does in the morning. And then somebody knocks on the door. So somebody has come. So he opens the door and then comes back to read the newspaper. And he can't read the newspaper. He can't read the newspaper because the glasses are missing. Where are the glasses? Where are my glasses? And why should he shout? I don't know. Some of these people, they shout. They think being a male head of the family means you can shout and order people. This attitude sometimes is there. Not good. Hey, where are your glasses? Fine, it's a legitimate question. Don't shout. Let's figure it out. There's no need to shout here. There's a small family, a nuclear family. How big can the nuclear family be? So a couple of children are there. Okay, where are my glasses? And he's looking around. And then the wife comes out. And the children came out also. And father is saying, where are the glasses? And the children figured out what the problem is. And the mother also figured out the problem. And they wink at each other. You know why? Because they said, we got him. This is our chance. All day long he shouts at us. Now let us have some fun with daddy. And so daddy says, where is the glasses? And Appa, did you keep it on top of the television? Yeah, okay, correct, television. Look, go look. Then dad goes to the television. Not available. Then where else did you go? You went and opened the door. Did you go to the restroom before that? No, I didn't go, but let me check. And so he goes. And then nothing there in the restroom. Then he comes out. Hey, I thought you went to the bedroom also, did you not? Bedroom, I don't think so. But then let me go check. So bedroom. So in bedroom there happened to be a big mirror. And he looks at the mirror. Suddenly all noise stopped. No more commotion in the house. No more tempers running high. No more running between this room and that room. No more shouting at people. Everything stopped. The person now has direct knowledge of what? Of the fact that the person who has been thinking that the person has no glasses is the same person who has glasses. So the person without glasses is the person with glasses. Look at this. Look at this very unique problem. The person without glasses is the person with glasses. This is Vedanta. This is Vedanta. So that's why they say what? They say, you are what you seek. All these statements come from this idea that not knowing what I have, I seek. Like this example, which was taught to me when in school somewhere. Some Kuchu, I think some story of Kuchu and all comes to my mind. This Kuchu was the one who was reading a newspaper, etc. Very interesting that that story was told to us. So direct knowledge is what we are looking for. The knowledge that the Upanishad gives me is called direct knowledge. Comes under the category of direct knowledge. Because Atma is known to me, and the Shastram talks about the entity that is known to me. Not known to be well, not known well enough, but somewhat known to me. Atma, myself. Good. We'll complete with that. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.